Hello, I'm Mark Calloway and welcome to the 13th video in our Revit Tutorials for Beginner series, and in this one we're going to have a look at creating dimensions. So first of all, on the Annotate tab on the ribbon bar, we have a group on the left hand side for dimensions. We have a variety of dimensions we can place within Revit. We have align dimensions, we have linear dimensions, angular, radial, diameter and arc length. So we'll concentrate on align dimension as this is the one that you're probably going to be using the most. With the align dimension tool selected, we just need to left click where we want the align dimension to start. For example, if I move my mouse over this wall on the left hand side, you can see that it's going to pick up the center line of the wall, which isn't what we want. We want to pick up the internal wall face. Okay. Now if we just zoom in so we can see this a little clearer, and I'm also going to turn the thin lines tool on so we can see the plaster layer a bit better without the line weights on there. Again, I'm going to move my mouse over the interior wall face, but you can see it's still picking up the center line of the wall. If I tap the tab key on my keyboard once, it will cycle to the next nearest line work or element near my mouse cursor. In this case, it's picked up the interior wall face. If it doesn't pick up the element you're wanting or the line that you're wanting, just keep tapping that tab key. But I can now left click and select that interior wall face. And we now have a dimension line coming off of there. I'm then going to find the first window or the start of the first window and left click there. You can see that we've picked up the distance between those 2 points. The dimension's still attached to my mouse cursor. I just need to move my mouse to where I want to place it. Make sure you're not about to click on anything else, so it's an empty space. Left click and that will place the dimension there. So we now have a single dimension. But maybe I want to dimension up all the windows on this north facing wall here. So again, I'm going to start a new dimension. I'm still in the dimension tool. I'm going to tab, and this time I'm going to pick up the exterior wall face. I'm then going to select the start of the first window. And if I move my mouse to the right, you can see I can keep going. I can do a running dimension. So I'm going to pick up the end of the first window, the start of the second, and I'm going to keep going across. And I'm going to keep on clicking, adding all these in, and I'll finish with the exterior wall face on the east side there. Again, move your mouse cursor to where you want to place it, left click, and that's going to place the dimension there. And I'm going to come out of the dimension tool. You can do that by pressing escape or clicking the modify button. If I select the dimension I've just created, on the ribbon bar I have this edit witness lines button. At any point I can come back to this dimension and edit it. With that selected, I can left click on anything I've already dimensioned and remove it from the chain of dimensions. Likewise, I can left click on new stuff and add them in there. You don't have to do it in order, so I can go into the middle. Maybe we'll pick up the center line of this partition wall and I can add that in there as well. To confirm any changes you've made, again, just left click in an empty space and that will confirm your changes. As well, we can edit the values of these dimensions. If you double click on any value, you'll get this dimension text box. Now, one of the things you can't do is replace the existing value with a different value. So if you make it wrong and you just want to overwrite it just so that it looks right, you can't do that. Revit will not let you replace the value with another value. But you could, for example, type in TBC for to be confirmed or something like that, and it'll replace the value with that piece of text. You can also add prefixes and suffixes. So, for example, I can add those onto the dimension. You can also add text above and below as well. You can lock any of these values by clicking this padlock and it stops that value from ever changing. For example, if I lock the value between these two windows at 1000, should I move one of these windows, it will move the other one to ensure that the distance remains 1000. Also, centered with the dimension, you should have this little EQ toggle. Clicking that will equalize all the elements that have been dimensioned. Not relevant in this case, so you can see Revit doesn't like that, but it has tried to equalize the distance between all those elements there. So as mentioned, there's a variety of dimensions. So aligned will automatically align to what it is that you're dimensioning. Linear will always remain vertical or horizontal. Angular allows you to dimension the angle between two elements. Radial allows you to pick up the radius. Diameter allows you to pick up the diameter. And arc length will measure the length of an arc. Thank you for watching.